right? And so, and honestly, that was learned in us when we were children, right? That came from where, I mean, not blasting any parents or anything like that, but that's what happens, right? You're a child, you try something, it doesn't work out, and you get chastised for it. Or you try something and it's not good enough, so you get chastised for it. Or you get a long lecture or something like that. So over time, guess what happens? You do start to doubt yourself. Dang, what can't I guess I clearly can't do anything. Nothing I do is good enough. I'm always failing, right? There's also that if you do try something, in certain spaces, this is usually not inside the home, but usually outside. If you're a child and you're at school and you try something or say something, what happens? You get ridiculed. You get rejected. They don't want to be your friend anymore. How often do kids say, "Oh, I don't want to be your friend anymore"? It's a form of rejection. So now you compound this time and time and time again, right? And then what ends up happening? Of course, you start doubting yourself. Why? Because you've all the success that you've ever made, all the things that you've done before have been masked by the fact that, oh, you're not good enough. As parents, it's almost like telling your kids, listen, you're not good enough. Sorry, I know you tried to clean up the mess, but see, it's still sticky on the floor. There's still juice here. See, you're not good enough.
Right.
That's how kids take it. So now imagine taking that message over and over and over again. I'm not good enough. And nothing I do works. I can't be successful. And then boom, that's where self-doubt comes in. And so now you're second guessing every single thing you do. And as far as like the emotions associated with that, right? You easily become overwhelmed, right? Easily become
Yes,
overwhelmed.
yes.
Anxiety runs rampant, second guessing yourself, and again, can't share this to anybody. So you're like dying on the inside this whole time. Right? So a lot when it comes to self-doubt, man, it's heavy. Honestly, it's heavy because you can't open up and share about it. You're not a man if you do. So that's
Well,
just
it's
a
one
tip
of
of the
those things,
iceberg,
right?
man. Yeah.
It's one of those things. Confidence, experience, wisdom, practicality, self-doubt, they all play a role in each other. If you
Mhm.
really analyze it, now if you're a person that has self-doubt, anxiety, self-isolation, all this other stuff, it comes from a belief from something else that you've been told, maybe like Doc said, from your parents, of something like that you're not good enough. But how does it interpret it to the real world? I mean, I don't understand the new men. You mean the new men nowadays where because like everything was given to them, maybe they have certain entitlement issues, but then they don't know how to deal with it by themselves. They don't
Mhm.
even know how to deal with it, right?
Mhm.
Now I try to understand like how, like when I know it's real for them, I've taken steps to like overcome certain things, like fear of doing something new, fear of doing something. What are some of the problems you see if you don't do something of your self-doubt now that handles in the future? Because you see all kind of different men, all kind of different
Mhm.
couples, relationships. It's in your practice. What happens when it doesn't get addressed? Woo!
How far of an extent can I go to, right?
I
I mean,
mean,
ultimately, I don't know what's
yeah,
allowed to say online or whatnot, but ultimately, if it's not addressed, it could lead to suicide. It really can.
yeah,
Uh,
no, absolutely, yeah.
and and that's not, that's because if you think you're never good enough, if nothing you ever do is good enough, you're never good enough at work, you're never good enough at home, you're never good enough in community, like nothing you ever do is good enough because that's the message you received as a child. Well, then shoot, why should I keep trying? Why am I even here? Because the thing is, Gordon, with self-doubt, it's not just doubting, your ability to accomplish something.